right, somebody give me a signal. Where's Jeff?
Jeff? Yeah, he's ready to go. Yeah.
I'm on? Okay. All right, well. Okay. Is this where you want me? All right, well, first of all, I just want to thank everyone, all of our friends and supporters who showed up here this morning, and our friends in the media. I want to thank y'all for being here today. I want to ask you if you would just allow me to speak from my heart. I don't have any prepared notes. I asked them, don't put a podium up here. I just want to tell you all how elated and excited I am to be standing here today. This is a day that's an answer to prayer. And if anybody who's witnessing this doesn't believe that there's a God who sits on high and looks down on low and is involved in our daily lives, then I don't know what you've been witnessing. But I can't express my gratitude for all the folks who are here today. Obviously, my wife. Now, this is the kind of wife you want to have, okay? All right, Philippa Ellis, everybody. God bless you. And my brother-in-law, Bill. Many of y'all don't know him. He's quiet.
My baby brother.
Her baby brother. But he's solid, and he's good, and he stood with me. God has sent so many special people. I want to recognize this man. Y'all have seen his face. He sat in the courtroom with me. God sent him to me. He's an apostle, the Reverend Dr. Larice Howell. Yes. And God, thank God for him.
Prayer warrior.
A prayer warrior. My representing St. Philip AME Church, the Reverend Janice McCrae, thank you. Reverend Adams, thank you. From my church, St. Philip, come on up. I want you to be seen. I want the Reverend.
Pray with us.
Yeah, come on, I want everybody to see these folks.
Church. It's our church.
This is my church. The Reverend Dr. Gerald Durley, a civil rights and human rights pioneer. Thank you, Dr. Durley, for being here. These are men. Thank you, Mr. CEO. I just caught, and there's several elected officials here, but our CEO and now State Representative Vernon Jones, I see you. I know you didn't sneak in, but I didn't know you were here. Thank you, Vernon, for your friend. The Reverend Dr. Joseph Williams. I'm sorry, I missed Reverend Williams. Thank you for being a friend consistently. Several commissioners are here. I saw Jeff Rader. Where are you, Jeff? Okay, there he is. I see. Thank you, Jeff, for being here. I see Marita Johnson. Thank you. Marita Davis Johnson. Let me get that right. All right, thank you. Because she's a leader in her own right. I see our newest commissioner, Commissioner Gregory Adams. Thank you, Commissioner. Now, I'm a mess up because I started naming names. One of my leaders right here, Coach Williams. Thank you. God bless you. Representative. Thank you. Other elected officials, Mayor Ransom is here, and so many. Any other elected officials? Any other elected officials? All my friends are here, okay, who have stood with me and stood by me, and I'm just thankful to be back and to be here. I'm drawing a blank on what I want to say. Other than expressing my gratitude, I want you to know that our task for the next couple weeks plus is going to be straightforward and direct. Number one, we're going to keep the trains moving on time. We're going to make sure that county operations continue in the way that our citizens expect and deserve. Number two, we're going to be prepared to address any emergencies that come along the way. And then number three, we're going to ensure an orderly transition to the new administration so that Michael Thurmond can hit the ground running on January 1st. I want you to know that when it began to become apparent that it was a good chance that we would have the honor of resuming office, I began to have conversations with Michael. We've had several over the course of the last few days, and we're going to be working together. We're going to make you proud of this county, and we're going to work as a team to get the job done. Why are we here? We're here to finish the job we started. We said that we would make the citizens' priorities the priorities of this county government, and we're going to finish the job. God bless you. Thank you. I'll be glad to take. Have I left anything out, honey?
You thank God. That was the most important thing.
She said, I thank God. That was the most important thing. She hadn't nudged me once, so I must not have veered off topic. And I'll take any questions you might have. Yes, Richard.
Well, will your legal team petition for DeKalb County to pay some of your legal fees?
Well, listen, obviously that matter is still active. I'll quote to you pretty much what Craig Gillen said. He said that it's not yet over, but we see that the end is near. And beyond that, he's not allowing me to comment. But I'm glad you brought that up because I think Dwight Thomas was going to be here. Is Dwight here? And I'm not bringing him up, but Dwight obviously is an active DeKalb County citizen. I think he may be stuck in traffic and he's on his way. And I just want to put a plug in for Dwight because I'm going to tell you all, if you don't already know this, he is a heck of a lawyer, okay? And a very involved DeKalb citizen. So I do want to acknowledge that. But thank you for that question.
Mr.
Yeah.
Ellis, I had a few employees in the county who expressed some concern because of the change in coming back, worried about their jobs. Can you reassure them about their jobs over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I will reassure them. We don't have any expectation or plans to let anybody go. We know that it's just before the holidays. Our job is to ensure that orderly transition in the way we talked about. So we're not looking to upset the apple cart or disrupt anything. We're going to get this thing going and put as much information into Michael Thurmond's hands as we can. I remember when I was coming into office, I went and met with then Mayor Shirley Franklin, and she told me that whatever plans you have when you come into office, there's something waiting for you on your desk that you don't know about and that diverts your attention. There's probably something waiting for me upstairs on my desk that I'm not thinking about, but let me say this. I'm going to do my best to make sure that Michael knows what's waiting for him on his desk, and he's prepared and ready to handle it. We know he's prepared, but I just want him to make sure he has all the information that he reasonably needs. Dwight Thomas, who I mentioned, is just walked in, and our Congressman Hank Johnson is here. Thank you. Who's been a friend and a supporter throughout. God bless you, Hank. He doesn't worry about elections. He believes in doing the right thing, and he's a lawyer, a congressman, and a gentleman. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Ellis,
Yes.
is there anything, good morning. Is
Good
there
morning.
anything specific on your to-do list in terms of what you can effectively get done in a matter of 3 weeks, or is this just about making it a smooth transition for Mr. Thurmond?
Well, I think that's significant. I mean, that's what it should all be about at this time of the year with the new administration coming in anyway. We know that the county is in the process of putting together a budget, so I'm going to spend a lot of time with my finance folks making sure that that budget gives Michael some good options and so that he has a clear and accurate picture of what the county really looks like. I'm going to be sitting down with the commissioners, making sure that we address, the needs and concerns, and we'll make our recommendations. We'll work with his transition manager, who I met yesterday, and provide him the information he needs. And I think that's what we can reasonably accomplish. We're not going to obviously take off. We're not going to make any promises we don't think we can keep. We think we can keep that. We think that's what the citizens want, and I think that's significant.
And then what's next after January 1st? What's next for you?
What's next for me? Listen, what I've learned. Look, listen. What I didn't do is thank all the citizens who stopped me on the street every day over the last 4 years and have expressed so much care and concern for me and my family. And probably that's the burning question, what's next? What we've learned through this is to savor the moment. We've taught our children to live in the now.
They taught us that.
And they taught us that, okay. and to have prayed for something to now manifest itself and come to fruition is quite a blessing. I think too often in life we miss our blessings because we're so focused on the next thing. So we're enjoying the blessing. We learn to trust God, and that's where we are.
Will you run for a future office?
That's I don't say no to any option or any opportunity. I'm just going to move as God directs.
How do you feel coming back in today? How do you feel walking back in today?
Oh, I thought maybe I didn't say this off the bat, but I'll tell you, I'm excited, I'm elated, I'm thankful to God, and I haven't been up in the office yet, by the way, and I assume some of you all would join me. Let me say this. So I'm savoring the moment, enjoying the day. I'm feeling quite blessed. I'm looking forward to not only going up in that office, but to also being out amongst our constituents. We have several meetings with constituents and groups today, and I'm looking forward to that. It's what I enjoy doing. One of my assistants called me last night. I sent over some of my photos. I'm just going to let y'all know this, okay? And asked that they just put them where they thought was fit. And I got a call and from a friend, and she said, "Have you seen your office?" I said, "I haven't seen it." And she said, "Well, they put up a lot of pictures, okay?" So I don't want anybody thinking that I directed anybody to put up every picture all over the place, okay? I think they just wanted to give me a nice welcoming, and we'll adjust it and we'll make it right. But I feel quite blessed.
I know you have read the Supreme Court's ruling, which legally vindicated you.
You think I read it? Yeah, Richard, I read it.
When you read down through it, some of it is not entirely complimentary of your behavior. Do you feel like you've been completely vindicated?
Yeah, actually, I not only do I feel vindicated by it, but I didn't think any of it was uncomplimentary of my behavior. You know, I'm a lawyer by training. I read it with legal eyes. You know, there's one statement that I know a lot of people ask about, and that happens to be the statement that says there was evidence, sufficient evidence, and this is the part that's often left out, presented at trial to find a conviction, okay? But then the Supreme Court went on to say that there was evidence presented by the defense that was not allowed to be presented at trial, and that would have likely made a difference in the outcome. And for that reason, they found that there was a basic denial of justice, the constitutional right to a fair trial. And because of that denial of our constitutional right to a fair trial, they overturned convictions. What I've been told by Dwight and other of my lawyers that the Supreme Court very rarely will overturn a criminal conviction, and even more rarely will they do that unanimously. They do that when they see that basic constitutional rights have been denied. And that's what occurred at that trial. And so, yes, we are very pleased at the ruling of the court. We think the decision reads very well, and I do believe that it vindicates me. So thank you for asking that.
You were wronged by this prosecution and deprived of your office that you were elected to?
I'm sorry, ask that question
Do you
again?
think you were wronged by this prosecution and deprived of the office you were elected to?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. Again, the case is active, and I've been instructed by my lawyers about what I can talk about and what I can't. Obviously, I talked about the decision because they gave me the okay to talk about that. But I
But as far as keeping you out of office for 3.5 years.
and I don't, where is?
Jeff's right here.
Okay.
Do you believe that, you believe legally, you are in the clear that there is no concern to believe that this could be retried? This is about moving forward now with your family, your career, and no concerns
Well,
about any
you
future
know, obviously we're trusting God. We're moving forward. And again, I'll quote my lawyer, Craig Gillen, who said, "We believe the end is near." Okay. Thank you very much.
Are you
Okay.
bringing in new